Hey, what's going on, guys? Dave McLean, personal trainer and strength coach. In this video, what I wanted to do was take you guys through an example of a trial workout or a free personal training session. One of the things that you're gonna need to get great at if you're a brand new personal trainer and you're looking to build up your clientele is you need to get great at doing trial personal training sessions or a free workout with potential clients, okay? Maybe you work in a big box gym like Gold's Gym or 24-Hour Fitness, or maybe you are an independent personal trainer and you're paying a rental fee to work out of an already existing gym that has a clientele there. And the nice thing about both of those situations is there are members in the gym that you can go up and talk to, that you can help out with technique on certain exercises. You know, I've gotten a lot of clients over the years just from being a familiar face in the gym and maybe having one headphone out during one of my workouts and getting good at building rapport, starting a conversation with someone, asking about their goals, how long they've been working out at this gym. And then I'll see, are they interested in working with a personal trainer? Have they ever considered it before? Great tip, keep some business cards on you. Obviously keep your cell phone. And you want to start to massage the conversation and see if people are open to the idea of doing a free workout, on doing a complimentary personal training session with you. Once you start to get good at opening those conversations, building rapport, introducing yourself, etc., you want to be booking in people for trial personal training sessions, and that should involve a little bit of a consultation. You want to get to know their goals a bit. Is it fat loss? Is it building muscle? Is it getting stronger? Is it for sports performance, to rehab an injury? Any of those things. What I'm going to show you in this video is exactly what I would do with someone who is what I would consider a general population client, Gen Pop for short. Typically their goals are to be healthier, right? So that usually involves losing some weight, building muscle, getting stronger, feeling better. They know that they need to be active. They know that they need to start working out. Maybe they don't have specific fitness goals, but more than likely it's body composition related. So what you want to do once you book in that trial session is you need to start rehearsing one or two of these scripted full body training sessions. And I recommend that you do full body for the purpose of getting someone educated on some good techniques so they're going to get value out of this free session. And that's really going to pay dividends later on because they're going to see that you are a trainer of authority, of value, that you do have a skill set to offer, and that they can learn something from you. I mean, imagine if they learn a lot in a free trial session, what they would learn working with you longer term. You want to keep these workouts full body because you want the client to feel like they're doing a really good workout in that trial session, okay? In fact, you want them leaving that session feeling like, man, this is what it's like to work with a personal trainer. This was way more intense than what I'm used to. Now, I don't mean intense like hardcore military boot camp style trainer, but I mean intensity from the purpose of they've done a lot of work in the session. They are getting into big compound movements. They're feeling the pump. They're feeling maybe some muscles for the first time. And like I said, you want to be teaching them good technique. So the style of training that I like using is a paired sets method. It's not a superset method, it's paired sets. So what you're going to do is you're going to stack two exercises together. Typically it's done in a fashion where at the beginning of the session, that's going to be the most difficult exercise, while the person is fresh. I love using lunges. Sometimes I'll just stick to bodyweight lunges with the client. Maybe they have some movement restrictions, or maybe they're just so deconditioned that bodyweight lunges is enough for them. But I'll often start with lunge technique. I'll get them over in a clear space that's a little more open, onto some turf or something, and I'm gonna ask them to show me how they know how to do lunges already, okay? So when you're teaching someone, you need to be very clear in your instructions. So the first thing that I'll do is ask someone, have you ever done lunges before? Show me exactly how you know how to do lunges. And then I'll get them to do a set of maybe 10 or 12 reps. And you're just observing. You're not saying anything during those 10 or 12 reps, just observe what they're doing. And then after that, then I would say, okay, well, I'm gonna show you how I teach lunges and how I would do a set of lunges. And then you need to go and correctly perform a set of lunges and show the client, that way they have a visual, show them a clean set of like 10, 12, 20 reps, and then start breaking down the technique. There's nothing worse than when someone is trying to teach you something, they're trying to show you and teach you, and you're trying to watch them and listen. It just gets too confusing, okay? I've seen this a lot over the years with personal trainers where, they're almost like stuttering on what to do, and they're trying to think of how to do the movement, and then obviously they want to perform the movement well. So look, show a good set of lunges and then break down the technique, okay? But I find lunges are really awesome to start out a session. So that would be like my A1 exercise. And then once I get the client doing like a set or two of lunges and their technique is improving and they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting it, then move on to another exercise. So that would be your A2 exercise. So in the example of this video, which you guys are gonna see, I did a lat pull down. Oftentimes new clients, Gen Pop clients, they have trouble activating their lats, keeping a good shoulder position in the bottom of the movement, getting the thoracic spine upright, retracting the scapula all the way in the bottom, and just really getting that posture correct. Just like with lunges, it's a challenging movement. Again, you're gonna do the same thing. Show me how you do lat pull down if you've ever done a lat pull down. If they've never done a lat pull down, then you're just gonna hop in and do a set of 10 reps, show them what good technique looks like, and then you're gonna break down that proper technique, give them some cues, and then you're gonna let them get in there. They're gonna do a set, and you're gonna coach them. You're gonna instruct them on how to depress the scapula, how to retract the scapula, keep their posture upright, the breathing, how to go into a full stretch overhead. That way they are training a full range of motion. And then I would go back to the lunges, all right? So I would do A1, A2. And I would typically do like 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, maybe 10 to 15. On lunges, that's gonna be per leg. So total steps is gonna be like 20 to 30. And I would do 2 or 3 sets, A1, A2. Okay, get them sweating, get them working out. Boom, now your A series is done. When your A series is done, move on to your B series. So I'm gonna pick 2 more compound movements. In the case of the video, I did an incline dumbbell bench press and I did a seated cable row, and then the process starts again, all right? I'm gonna ask them, have you ever done dumbbell bench press? If they have, show me your technique. Once they do that, I'm gonna hop in, show them what the technique should look like. We're gonna compare techniques. I'm gonna give them coaching cues. They're gonna do a couple more reps, and then boom, we're off to our first working set of incline dumbbell bench press. 10 to 12 reps. Now I'm gonna go over to my B2 exercise, seated cable rows in this case, and that process repeats, guys. Get them to demonstrate, then you demonstrate, then you coach and cue, get them to clean up their technique, and then they do a working set. In the case of the video, just for time's sake, I only did 2 total sets of my B series, and then I moved on to my C series, which was a goblet squat with a dumbbell and dumbbell overhead press. And the technique and the system is gonna be the same. You're asking them, have they done these movements before? They're gonna demonstrate, then you're gonna demonstrate, you're gonna coach, and on and on and on, okay? So an A series, a B series, and a C series. It's not supersets, they are paired sets. So once they've done a technique set or 2 and they're getting into the groove and they're feeling the movement, then you want to do the working set. So if I'm doing my A1 lunges working set and then my A2 lat pull down, I'm gonna take about 60 to 90 seconds in between. So don't immediately go from lunges to lat pull down. Don't go from your number 1 exercise to your number 2 exercise. They are not supersets, they are paired sets, okay? In the case of the video, I gave you guys 2 options for how to end the session. So if I'm training a male client, typically at the beginning of the session, I'm gonna ask them, what's a body part that you wanna see brought up, or what's an area of your body that you'd like to improve? Obviously, most people are gonna say their stomach. Guys are typically gonna say their chest or their arms, and women is more than likely gonna say their glutes. At the end of a trial session, I'll usually get people doing exercises that it's gonna make them feel good, that they're gonna like, okay? So with guys, I'll give them 1 or 2 sets of arms, some triceps and some biceps. In the video, I gave you guys a tricep rope pull down, and I did a dumbbell Zottman curl, which is my favorite bicep movement. And then with female clients, I would just do a glute burnout with a band, something that's low impact. Remember, you're gonna be short on time. Typically, you wanna keep these trial sessions to about 1 hour, so you are gonna have to get dialed in on your system, on your coaching. You're gonna have to know all of the technique points and just have it rehearsed and scripted. For the warm-up, I did just a quick set of bird dogs and some rocking planks, and then some banded work with the hip circle to get some glute activation, some hip activation. But listen guys, that's a really simple trial personal training session that you can use if you're prospecting the floor, if maybe you have some leads coming in and you're doing like a free consultation and maybe you want to offer like a trial personal training session, you can do that. I built my business very successfully working at a big box gym where they had independent personal trainers. So I paid a flat monthly rate and I was able to go up and talk to members, prospect the floor. If you guys haven't checked out my other videos on how to do that, I'll link them in the description. But just starting conversations, helping people out, you know, I was able to book up my schedule fairly quickly doing trial sessions. And I would say being rehearsed as a personal trainer, being prepared, knowing what to do before the session, that is gonna come across as you are a high-level personal trainer, and people wanna work with trainers who they're confident and they know their stuff. This is one example of a trial personal training session. I would use the exact same format, you know, compound movements, full body workouts, paired sets method, A1, A2. I would have an A series, a B series, a C series, and then a finisher. And then obviously you're gonna do a warm up that is some dynamic movement and some core stability and some core strength. Just get that person prepped, make sure that they're prepared to load up their body in the session. And you know what guys, don't be afraid to regress any of these movements. I've trained people with mobility restrictions. I've trained lots of elderly clients. You know, my oldest client was 84 years old and I still had him deadlifting, using a kettlebell, using a trap bar. Obviously the weight was raised up, that way he didn't have to stretch as low to get to the ground. But don't be afraid to regress any of these movements. If someone is not able to do weighted lunges or a goblet squat, you can have them do body weight versions. And you know, if someone's not able to do, for whatever reason, an overhead press, maybe they have a shoulder issue, then just don't work those movements. Train a press at a different angle. Maybe you do an incline dumbbell press like I did in the video, and then maybe you do a flat press or a decline press or something like that. Strength training is important. Strength is the mother quality. A stronger human is a more capable human, and most people want to get stronger. They want to move better. They want to build muscle and they want to burn fat. So strength training is going to be the ticket to them achieving their fitness goals. So I hope this video helps you guys out. We're gonna jump into it right now. If you got some value from this video, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and maybe leave me a comment down below. I've got lots of content for personal trainers, and I hope this helps you guys out. This is exactly what I did to build my business, and I've been personal training. This is 13 years now working in the industry. So get great at doing trial sessions, get great at your delivery, get great at your coaching and your teaching, and you guys are gonna get busy with clients, your schedule is gonna get filled up, and you're gonna be a very successful personal trainer. So I wish you guys all the best. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys around in the next video. All right guys, so this is exactly how I would do a trial personal training session in this order. So we're gonna start out with some core stability. I like using bird dogs to start out. Bird dogs are super accessible for most people. They spare the spine of high compressive loads, and they're really challenging when they are done correctly. You get down on all fours, you're extending diagonal limbs, and you're holding for about 3 to 5 seconds on each rep. The idea is not to move your torso, not to shift your hips, no movement at the spine when you are doing the rep. So it is the hip and the shoulder that is extending. Each rep we low sweep to the ground, so we're almost setting our knee and hand down, but we're not quite. I like to do 5 or 6 reps on each side. One set is all that you need if done correctly. And like I said, you're holding for about 3 to 5 seconds on each rep. Super challenging, very simple. After bird dogs, I will get into some planks. And if the client is able to handle it, I will get them to do shifting planks. So they're just gonna rock their feet back. That moves the elbows in front of the body, so the 2 anchor points of the body for the plank, the forearms and the feet, are further away. And what that does is that increases the lever and it makes the plank more challenging. And I'll normally have this person do this like 3 to 5 times. They'll hold for about 3 seconds. So after the core stability drills, we're gonna get into some dynamic hip stability work with the hip circle or a glute loop, whatever band you like to use. So I have my hands on my hips here, that way I'm not laterally shifting through my hips, so I want to keep my hips square to the wall in front of me.
That way I'm using my medial glutes. Awesome exercise to pump up the glutes, to get the lower body turned on and engaged. So the first thing I did was the sideways steps, and then I just did the forward to reverse skater steps, and now this is a stiff walk. So the hips are back, the knees are slightly bent, just like an athletic position. You're holding that just like a ready position, and just walking forwards and backwards. Okay, so like I said in the video, I like to use lunges first. It really lets me see what's going on in someone's body. Are they mobile? Are they stable? So I'll get people to have their arms up in fists, elbows tight to the body, and they're just stepping to the center of the lunge at first. I want to see if they are stable enough with that. If they are, on the next set, I'm going to have them do another set of bodyweight lunges, hands on hips this time, and they're actually going to transition into the next step with the lunge, okay? So that's what separates a lunge from a split squat, is that transition. Bringing that back knee down to the ground, torso is upright, breathing is on point, and we're looking for quality reps. So lunges are excellent to start out your trial session. And the A2 exercise, like I said, was lat pull down. So here I'm just sitting on the ground. The current studio that I'm in, we don't have an official lat pull down machine. So I just rigged up a cable stack. I've got the close neutral grip on there. I like using the neutral grip. Neutral grip is always going to be easiest on the shoulders, so if someone has shoulder issues, I suggest using a neutral grip. Going into a full stretch overhead and really retracting the scapula in the bottom. Okay, so this would be my first working set of lunges. So after I've gone through 1 or 2 technique sets with the client, I'm going to get them doing some working sets with some weight if they're able. Here I'm just using a pair of dumbbells. If that's too challenging for your client, you would just use a single dumbbell up in the goblet position, just like a goblet squat. And if that's even too challenging for a trial session, just use bodyweight lunges, that's fine. And then back to the lat pull down. So technique on lat pull down, we want to go to a full stretch. So we are elevating the scapula at the top, and then we pull hands all the way down into the chest, and we are depressing the scapula. Okay, my elbows are in tight to my body. My breathing is on point. Good quality reps. I get a slight pause in the bottom of each rep. Back to the A1 exercise. This would be my last set of lunges for this trial workout. So I've gone up in weight here. You can also do that with your clients if they can handle it in that trial session. Give them a little bit more weight. Let them feel what the workout's all about. Keeping that torso upright. Good technique. Crushing the grip, engaging the lats, that way my arms aren't swinging. Make sure people are doing stable lunges. And then last set of lat pull down. This one I've sped up a little bit more. This is the A2 exercise. So A1 was lunges, A2 is lat pull down. Just going for the pump here. Breathing out in the bottom, breathing in as I extend my arms up. You guys know technique on lat pull down, I'm sure. Okay, into my B series. So here I'm using an incline dumbbell press, and the bench is set to 35 degrees, and I'm using a neutral grip. So every time I use dumbbells, I use a neutral grip. It's more range of motion, and it is easier positioning for the shoulder joint. If people have shoulder issues, they've probably overtrained a pronated grip. So let's get them training with a neutral grip. And then the B2 exercise, I did a seated cable row using a pronated grip. So just vary your grips, guys, on the pulls. So if you did a neutral grip on the lat pull down, use a different grip for your seated cable row. But ultimately, it's whatever the client can handle. Okay, good range of motion. I'm going into a full stretch on every rep. All right, and then we went back to the B1 exercise, incline dumbbell press. Going for 10 to 12 reps, getting those reps nice and low, getting good solid lockouts, breathing out on extension. So because we did so many lunges, I wanted to give people a break in the B series for their lower body, because some clients, they're just not conditioned to handle all of that training to the lower body. So the B series, I like doing just strict upper body, a push and a pull. balancing out the shoulder. We're always trying to achieve structural balance in our training. Just going for the pump here again. In the example of this workout, I only did 2 rounds of my B series, and that is seated cable row. Okay, on to the C series. So now we're going back to the lower body. I'm using a dumbbell goblet squat, getting nice and deep. If people have issues with their squat, you want to raise their heels up on some plates. Make sure that the squat technique is on point. Upright torso, no rounding in the back. But definitely you should be getting your clients to be doing some form of squats. And then the paired set, I did a dumbbell seated overhead press. Again, I'm using a neutral grip. My elbows are going 45 degrees to my body. Minimal stress on the shoulder joint. Getting a full range of motion at those reps. Full lockout, so I'm extending my elbows all the way. Breathing out at the top. And just going for the pump. 10 to 12 reps. We want people feeling this workout. We want them to know what it's like working with a personal trainer. Okay, and then again, I only did 2 rounds of the C series. Here I'm using a 100-pound dumbbell. Obviously your clients aren't going to be using that, but you do want to progress even in the trial sessions. So get them using heavier weight. If they're just doing body weight, then get them to do tempoed reps or get them to do more reps. Get those knees going forward over the toes, using the ankles, and make sure the knees are pushed out as well on each rep, guys. Last set here of my seated dumbbell overhead press. Notice my chin is up, I'm looking forward. My posture is good. I'm driving my feet into the ground to help me be more stable on each rep. Help me be more solid. You want to crush your grip. Elbows to 45 degrees, using a neutral grip, and the dumbbells are coming all the way down, so they are touching my shoulders in the bottom. That is a full range of motion. Alright, so if you are training a male client, I suggest finishing up with some arms, so I'm just using a tricep rope pull apart. I really like this rope by Harbinger. It is a 36-inch rope. It's a little bit longer, allows you to extend your elbows and not hit your legs in the bottom. And I'm keeping my upper arm bone glued tight to my body, locking the elbows on each rep. And then I'm doing a dumbbell Zottman curl, so supinated to pronated. Awesome bicep exercise. This one hits all the heads of the biceps and the forearms. You want to keep your torso as still and stable as possible. Watch that your elbows don't flare out. Try not to move too much through the shoulders. It is a little bit tricky, but a great arm exercise. Your male clients will love that one. And then for female clients, I suggest finishing with some form of a glute burnout. So I like just doing some glute work on the ground with a band. So what I did here was 5 glute bridges and then 10 hip abductions. That's round 1. Round 2 is 10 bridges and then 15 hip abductions. And then round 3 is going to be 15 bridges and 20 abductions. I feel my glutes more when my toes are up, when I'm really driving my heels into the ground. Glute training is all about the individual. It's all about what the client feels. Make sure they are going into a full hip extension at the top. So I am pausing on each rep. It is slight. My abs are braced. And then just getting the pump. My glutes were on fire after this, guys. Awesome, awesome glute burnout. Or even a great warm-up for your glutes. And that's it. That is a trial workout session. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you around in the next one.